I just had to remake this entire video because I saw the patch notes last night and it only showed a small nerf to Triple Axel. I went, that's cool, I'm gonna go to bed, I'm gonna wake up, and I'm gonna record the video. I woke up and I started from the top. I assumed everything was the same. The world did not change around me as I slept. And then I get here in the video and I'm like, wait, what? It's a buff? Oh, That changes that changes my entire mood. That changes my entire outlook on life. How? What is... I'm convinced that the devs are on some Riot shenanigans where they actually, like, their balance team is mostly like silver and gold rated players with like the best player on the team being plat. And I would not be surprised if there's people at Timmy Studios that are hard stuck vet at this point, because they either have no idea how their game works, they don't want to adjust their game to make it work. I don't know. Or they just don't know how to make games at this point. Like, some of the decisions at this, like, up until this point have been baffling, have been unacceptable. Like, I'm actually happy that we finally, like, we got patched so soon. Normally, we have to wait 3 weeks for the game of being unplayable for a patch to mess something up and then make the game unplayable for another 3 weeks. But here, they're trying to fix something in a pretty quick manner, and it seems alright. Like, there's some decent changes in here, but still doesn't address any of the major problems with the game. So, I don't know. I don't know how it's like, yo, let's nerf Cramorant 3 times. Let's buff Tsareena for, like, a small healing. Like, that means they thought Tsareena was balanced. The second strongest Pokemon to ever exist behind Launch Gengar. And the devs are like, yes, it's balanced. We just need to tune it a little bit so the play pattern's different. What? They don't understand anything. Ranked is still a mess, and apparently, like, when you read the patch notes, the official ones, they say, like, Corphish changes, or, like, Corphish was bug fixed. Corphish despawning at 5 minutes was a bug, apparently. And it took a week to fix that. Even though, if you play tested a single game, you would be like, huh, that's weird. That shouldn't be happening. That reminds me of when Cinderace was bugged for months. Because you go back to the Japanese beta, and when Cinderace had a Fireball, it moved faster, like when it had like its empowered auto attack. On launch, it had its empowered auto attack move faster. After the first patch, it had that. So we're like, oh, this must be a feature of Cinderace and why it's so busted. No, it's a bug. Not a nerf, just a bug. And they decide to bug fix it. Like, sometimes it seems like the devs either try to save face by being like, oh yeah, that thing we don't know how to make or program, that was actually bugged all along. Or they're trying to do the whole bugs as a feature thing. I don't know. Let's get into this. And, you know, Buddy Bear is still not nerfed, and all the items still haven't gotten any tuning or changes. Like, it's a mess. It's awful right now. So let's go Venusaur. Verdant Anger took a pretty interesting change. Not really fair to call this a buff or nerf. It's different. I haven't been in game. I haven't seen it. Area of effect decreased, but I guess if, like, you shrink it, that means that second hit has a better chance of landing, but it's also easier to miss the first hit. Maybe it also messes, like, with the tip range on, like, how far you need to be away to steal Zapdos or something. I don't know. But Petal Dance actually getting a really good change. Now, I don't consider Venusaur to be a strong Pokemon. It's mostly annoying, mostly pub stompy, and for some reason, like, it feels like it just done less in, like, the last couple of patches. Like, either the meta rotated around it and it just kind of exposed Venusaur, or something is wrong. I don't know. But the problem was, Petal Dance just gave too much movement speed. Venusaur, if it was like in a winning situation, it just got to run you down and beat you, and there was no counterplay to it. Also, if it got into a losing situation, it could just Petal Dance and run away faster than any other Pokemon in the game, and there was nothing you could do about it. Like, Petal Dance Petal Dance Venusaur could outrun you if you had your Unite move movement speed, and it would just zoom away for free. So this is actually one of the more interesting cool changes I've seen. Movement speed from Dance now decays over time. That's actually great. That's actually good game design. I don't know why they can't come up with these ideas for the rest of the game, but yeah, now this means that, like, you use it to get in, you can still stick around in the fight, and you need to get, like, resets and stuff, but you can't just use it to get away for free forever. Now people will eventually catch you, and you get punished, and maybe you don't snowball as hard. Cool. Solar Beam. People are picking Solar Beam more, it feels. Like, Solar Beam was coming back in the meta, especially after that 1.5% change, where it's like, yeah, now you're actually just better at securing or stealing Zapdos, and you're better at securing, stealing Dreadnought, and that's actually super important, and you just do a lot of damage in fights. So the cooldown reduction, that was kind of needed early on before, like, Petal Dance got Giga buffed into being weird and having very little counterplay. So yeah, it's like Solar Beam's in, and then Sludge Bomb range increase. So Sludge Bomb, Solar Beam, getting a buff. And it seems like a healthy buff that could have happened from like week 1. And then we wouldn't have had like Giga Drain Pedal Dance every single game or something. And then Verdant Anger, Weirdness. Now here's like another thing that has me going. Starlight Recital, shield and duration reduced, good. The problem is, like, if you just have a support comp and you go to Zapdos and you just win the fight by popping 5 Unite moves at the same time, and everyone's in the bush with Wigglytuff, and then Wigglytuff gives them unstoppability on the crowd control, so that shield is actually a lot more powerful since they don't get to stand still and eat hits and like waste that shield. Like, they just get to run in, hyper engage for free on like 600% bonus health on shields, and there's no counterplay to it, except for doing this exact same thing with pretty much the exact same comp, or having 3 supports on your team or something. So that is a problem. Like, yeah, this was good. We got a shield touch and a duration reduction. Maybe there's actually going to be like 2% of Zapdos fights that are winnable now. But the problem is Buddy Barrier. Buddy Barrier has needed a nerf since launch. Buddy Barrier has needed a nerf since the Japanese beta. And for some reason, the items have not been adjusted at all. Like, Rocky Helmet's still useless. Floatstone sucks because you're in combat pretty much the entire game, and Leftovers doesn't do anything. And it's like Leftovers actually just less health value than any other item in the game that gives health or something weird like that. So it's just like, yeah, everyone's running Buddy Barrier. Focus Band has needed nerf as well. Everyone's running Buddy Barrier, Focus Band, and then the last item slot is just like the best item for that Pokemon, which is either Scope Lens, Razor Claw, or Choice Specs, or maybe some niche thing. But if you're not running Buddy Barrier, you're trolling and losing the game at Zapdos. If you're not running Focus Band, you're losing Audinos in like the first rotation bot lane, and then you're falling behind. And then by the time you try to catch up to them, they got Focus Band again, and they just win every fight from there. So like, you can gamble and put off Focus Band, but it still needs to be brought down. So like, there's other options that are actually viable, and you just have to, like, the problem with Focus Band is that it's so strong, you don't have to care about the downside. Like, you just run at them in that first fight, and then you just hard commit because you have Focus Band, and then you win. And if a lane has 2 Focus Band versus 0 Focus Band or 1, the 2 Focus Band wins. And then they just snowball and get ahead. It's like, where's the item balance to actually make other things viable? I don't know. Like, you can run other things to be fun. Actually, like, you have 2 move slots. Like, you can not run Focus Band sometimes if you want to have fun. Or maybe on very specific comps and very specific Pokemon, but it shouldn't have to be that way. And then also other items getting buffs and stuff. We haven't seen it, and the problem is Buddy Barrier, not Wigglytuff Unite move, but whatever. Zeraora gets gutted here. Spark losing 60% attack ratio? Like, the base doesn't matter. Like, all they need to do was, like, tag the base a bit. Where it's like, yeah, the Spark jump itself, you know, that's a little bit. But 60% on Zeraora, who's also getting, like, 200 attack from its passive, and several hundred attack from crazy scaling, being one of like the highest attack Pokemon in the game, items, all that other stuff. What? Like, you're losing several hundred damage. Did need it. But like, weird that Zeraora gets nerfed, Talonflame doesn't get touched, and Tsareena ends up buffed. And they still didn't give Garchomp any compensation to the massive nerf that Garchomp got. This is also, like, weird. Translation of the patch note said Wild Charge is a bug fix that no longer chains after KO on Pokemon. That is not true. So, I mean, like, maybe there's just some weirdness about how, like, Wild Charge interacts. Watching Hero play, like, sometimes just the targeting was weird, so maybe it fixed, like, some weird targeting and then, like, something lost in translation. Or the devs don't even know. And then, this is the dumbest thing I've seen so far. Like, there's just this ambiguous Zeraora is bugged. Spark is bugged. Spark is bugged. I just hear people saying Spark is bugged. But I try to look it up. I see no evidence or no one, like, showing anything about Spark being bugged or just discussing it. It's like a purely word-of-mouth rumor kind of thing that's having weird implications in the game. Like, someone gets one-shot by Zeraora and they're like, Spark bug abuse! But no one even knows how to replicate the bug, if the bug exists, and how you can, like, abuse it or anything. People just get mad that Zeraora has 1,000,000 damage, and that's probably what's happening when, like, you use Spark, it charges your Razor Claw, so then you're getting Razor Claw bonus damage stacked into a 170% attack, and then that, it might even be like Absol, where that becomes your auto attack, so if that 170 crits, it becomes 340 instead of 200, and then, like, it just seems like it's doing more damage when it's just critting and getting a Razor Claw proc, and maybe a little bit of Spaghetti Code, but nothing, but, like, that's just Zeraora. Like, congratulations, you learned that Zeraora is busted. It's not that it's, like, a bug or anything. I don't know. Maybe it is bugged, but no one can really no one knows. Like, his damage bugs still exist. Please tell me what this is and how it works. It's not like the Lucario bug, where, oh, 4,000 damage. Yeah, that shouldn't happen in one tick. Or the Cramorant bug where it's like, oh, Cramorant's just walking around invincible all game. So it's like, yeah, the game's weird. Things are still broken. Devs don't seem to care. Gardevoir gets gutted. That's pretty nice to see right here. So Moonblast cooldown, 6 seconds to 7 seconds. Needed. Moonblast coming online early is unhealthy for the game. And that Castaway, like, you just can't get on the Gardevoir with, like, most of the roster nats where it's like Gardevoir just instantly Moonblast, just boop. Alright, you're stunned, you can't do anything. And then it keeps spamming it, and then you're, like, Psy-Shocked. Like, you can choose to just walk away from Gardevoir after that Moonblast lands, and then you get it out. But if you're, like, trying to collapse on a Gardevoir, this doesn't happen. At least in a 1v1. Or without, like, a serious flank or, like, hard commitment. Yeah, Gardevoir is too safe, especially after getting buffed. Like, it's crazy. Gardevoir, just like, everything's the same, but level 9. Garchomp gets Giga nerfed. And then like, Gardevoir, who was already on the edge of broken, now gets, like, really good. So, now we need to see some changes come in. Now, the Psyshock plus getting hit, I think is a smart move. Instead of, like, nerfing Psyshock and making Gardevoir just bad again, and then, like, oh, man, it's as weak as it was. I wish I was level 10 Gardevoir again, because I figured that one out. Now I'm just worse at all stages of the game. Like what they did to Garchomp, they're nerfing Psyshock plus, so at level 11, you don't just take over the game. So it's not like, oh man, level 13 power spike right before Zapdos or something. No, level 11, that's happening a lot before Zapdos. That's winning a fight, and then that's getting your Unite move charge to win at Zapdos. So now Gardevoir doesn't, like, Giga hard win as much, and I'm still, like, Moonblast Psyshock's still the best moveset. But if anything, this is going to hurt Gardevoir more because now idiots are going to be like, oh no, Psyshock Plus was nerfed, even though that wasn't, like, that's a problem, but it's like, it's not the reason why Garchomp's the best. So they pick Future Sight and Troll, and I feel like 3 idiots out there are actually going to choose the other thing over Moonblast. Future Sight, bug fixes, whatever. Eldegoss. I don't even know, man. Like, Leaf Tornado was doing a lot of weird damage stuff, and, like, it would just steal Dreadnought for no reason. Like, really good Eldegoss snipes. They just happened, and for some reason it was stronger than most abilities for no reason. Even though, like, the ratio and the per level and it doesn't seem that crazy, but it just was. So now Leaf Tornado taking a substantial hit. Now support is not, like, dealing burst damage or something. Will this disincentivize Leaf Tornado? Potentially. Like, I'm still split on Pollen Puff. Like, sometimes Pollen Puff is the best decision, and other times it isn't. So maybe, like, you just don't AFK. Like, you look at your team comp, you look at the enemy team comp, and if you're an expert Eldegoss, you make the right decision 9 times out of 10, and then you win more games, instead of just defaulting to Leaf Tornado or defaulting to Pollen Puff. But, like, after this, like, there's some weirdness going on. Cotton Spore. Cotton Spore is also a weird move that just doesn't make any sense, and it's not supportive enough. When this is you, and this is the guy she tells you not to worry about, you can't compete. The shielding at any reasonable point in the game is disgusting. It's an AoE shield. So you can provide 5,000 effective health to the team instantly, and some of it converts into healing. What? Like, you just can't, even if it didn't convert into healing, like having an on-demand instant 1,000 shield, and then especially like more going into like Zapdos fights and stuff. Like, look at that! What do you do? This is why the E-Girl comp works so well, because there's no counterplay to just giving 6,000 health, Wigglytuff ulting, Buddy Barriers incoming, and then like whatever happens, happens. Cotton Spore, you run in, and then you knock up, and then you get some movement speed, and then, like, at level 13, which Eldegoss is never getting. It's like, these stats don't matter. Like, this will never happen, level 13s. And then, like, okay, it's a good amount of damage. But the thing is, it's less damage to offset the shielding, so, like, shield Eldegoss just wins in that situation, especially if you predict it. See Eldegoss running in for it, put the shield out, knocks up, you still have a little bit of shield to eat while, like, you're all crowd controlled, and then that's it. The 5-second cooldown is kind of nuts, though. Like, I don't know if there's spam ability here. Maybe Eldegoss goes damage. But then, like, you're losing... Like, damage Eldegoss and you pick a Blissey, and then, like, you're losing some support, but you still have a support or something, and something happens. Like, this needs something supportive. This needs to be like Pollen Puff, where if an ally runs into it, they gain defenses. And then, like, they feel something from it. Like, that would make me pick it. If I got, like, a little bit of a durability buff by being a part of that knock-up cluster, or, like, Eldegoss kind of uses it to engage a bit or something, and then you get some defenses. That'd be pretty nice, but as it stands, super supporty. Movement speed's one of the best stats in, like, any game where there's action going on, and Pollen Puff is also still really nice. Like, you just Pollen Puff someone, they go in, they get a sick amount of healing, and then they get a shield and healing, and then Eldegoss follows them off. Yeah, man, it's nuts. Knock-up duration increase, speed boost on allies increase, enemy slows increase. Like, it might be the cooldown that changes it. Like, now losing 1.5 seconds and bring it down to like less than 6 because of like cooldown reduction and stuff. Oh man, it's so buffed. Like, it's either buffed towards actually mad, or Cotton Guard is so good it can just never be stopped until Cotton Guard becomes unviable. We'll see. But again, it's just like that last team fight. You want that 6,000 health and Buddy Barriers to win. Boost attacks on the Crustle is kind of weird. Huge buff, by the way, someone in Math Gourd. Like, it is a buff, because Crustle's going to have like 400 attack on the Shell Smash, so gaining 40% scaling is going to be more damage than the damage lost. But it's only on boosted auto attacks. It's like Crustle's doing like 300, 400 more damage, maybe if it gets a crit or something, inside of a fight. And that also is like interesting for maybe the early, I think this might be targeted early game nerf. So that way, like, you're not getting weird steals and stuff, and then like just like taking over on Fury Cutter when you're Dwebble. And then like you get some of that power back, and then like Crustle's just a little more confident feeling for an extra level or something. Interesting balance. Now let's get into Tsareena. Like, this is dumb. This doesn't like Tsareena was the second most broken Pokemon to ever launch, like behind Gengar, when Hex Sludge Bomb, which is completely uncounterable. Hex Sludge Bomb's still the best moveset, by the way. Like, if you're going Shadow Ball, Dream Eater, you just suck at the game. You have no game sense, and you're throwing. Please stop. Why are you doing this? I can't put this into words. Where it's like one of the most broken Pokemon needed to get gutted. Tsareena need to lose damage, shielding, healing, and maybe also some like passive effectiveness to be in a healthy spot. Especially after like nerfing Zeraora, nerfing Lucario. Like now just the best Bruiser, the best Brawler, the best Pokemon in the entire game. And what do? They make its early game stronger for the cost of a little bit of health. So 200 more hit points. More attack at level 4. So that means the ganks are stronger. So Tsareena Jungle is just buffed. You get like a couple % damage reduction. It's like 2% damage reduction, so more effective health. And then level 6 into Tsareena. Unless they flattened out the curve. But like, you spike harder. So I mean, like, you get a level and you catch up to the curve and then you're fine. Unless, yeah, like, I don't know where the total stat changes are because there aren't any right here. But as it stands right now, like, unless it's like Garchomp and there's secretly something else that's nerfed giga hard, if we just look at this on the surface, and these are the only changes, and like Tsareena catches up or scale, like how does this curve change? Like, unless your level 13 through 15 is just a lot weaker on the attack, like, you're stronger until then, just off of these stats alone. And then you also get more defenses and stuff. And like, look at that, 420 health plus 3% more damage, or like damage reduction. On all of that, you're getting like 600 effective health on Tsareena at level 6. So you have to go through like 2 triple axles before you start like dropping off in damage. But since you're an attack buff, you're ending fights sooner. So the fight's lasting less, so you have to worry less about sustain. I don't know. Like, the Pokemon's ridiculous. This triple axle nerf, like, this would have been a good start. Triple axle nerf, and then you whatever these numbers were, you go the other direction. You make them lose the amount of stats it just gained, and then Tsarena's balanced. But this is giga buffed. I don't know what's happening here, guys. Like, I honestly feel like you don't even need these changes. If you want to make the game playable, you just nerf Buddy Bear to 25%. Focus Band loses, I don't know, something. I haven't thought about the Focus Band numbers in a while. And then, like, the game's less frustrating than Zapdos, and you can play whatever you want. But nah. And also, Mr. Mime still hasn't been nerfed. That's secretly the best character of the game. But mine is Tsareena now, because Tsareena is just way too good. So, Spirit Shackle cooldown, Leaf Storm, the thing that no one used, knockback and range increase, some damage, Leafage. Leafage getting buffed is actually really nice to see here. Like, that's quicker clear, that's going to be better secure in lane, that's going to be potential just, like, KO potential. Even though it's very small, it might add up. So we should get like 2 Leafages in a fight. I've had like times where I just survived like 50 health against Rowlet in lane. I'm like, ooh, good thing that last Leafage didn't execute me. This actually might be it. Leaf Storm, Spirit Shackle, I don't know. Yeah, Cinderace getting buffed. Cinderace already S tier. I guess they're trying to put power back in the game in weird ways. The Decidueye needs like base stats or some. Decidueye's, like, Unite move also sucks, so that's a big problem right there. Like, the Unite move needs, like, double the damage for Decidueye to be a threat when, like, other Unite moves exist in the game. And yeah, Cinderace did not need to be buffed. Pikachu getting an interesting buff. The charge rate, that's way too much. I guess it does make sense, though. I'm not seeing Pikachu Unite move enough in games. I mean, if, like, Pikachu gets 2 more Unite moves, that's actually super strong. Has a very good Unite move. Volt Tackle, getting a little stronger. Thunder Shock, it actually needs that in lane to kind of keep up with, like, Mr. Mime, Shenanigans, and Lucario and stuff. And the ratio, tipping it over the base, yeah. Pikachu's just in a better place. Like, Pikachu now isn't always behind because it secures, like, 2 more camps. So now Pikachu's a level ahead of where it was and choosing, like, 1 more Unite move per fight or per game. And that could actually, like, swing a major team fight around 3 minutes and something. Actually, 89-second charge at the base. I wish there was charge rate on all the Pokemon, like the base charge rate for all the Pokemon, so you could know, like, when to use your Unite move on, like, random Pokemon or something. But that's, like, yeah, you can actually use it at 3 minutes and get it back on Pikachu now. So that last Rotom fight, something weird that breaks out just somewhere random, you can actually just burn your Unite move, farm up a bit, get it back, and you're GG easy. Yeah, I don't see any. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. Oh, never mind. Cool. That's what that is. The 134-second cooldown. Oh, I need to pay more attention to that. So, yeah. 2-minute charge. Wow. Okay. Makes a lot of sense. And now Pikachu's, like, super fast. Alright. Yeah, no, then also, like I said, Corphish was apparently bugged or something. And I don't think that made it into the patch notes in, like, miscellaneous. And apparently, yeah, bug fix. Sylveon bug fix. Oh, we skipped Slowbro. I didn't even mean to do that, guys. I know that Slowbro doesn't exist as a Pokemon, but damn. Even I catch myself there. So, stat increase on Oblivious. This seems the same. Pokemon store lost hit points. When hitting an enemy, it restores some of the hit points. And then decreases enemy special defense. Like, is that decreased special defense new? I don't think it is. So, they did something. Slowbro doesn't make sense. Scald getting tuned? Like, less damage. Base. But more ratio. So it does the same thing. And then burn. And then amnesia. No longer increases special attack. Wait. Why increase ratio, reduce base, and then reduce special attack? And then just make it special defense. And every Pokemon's physical now, because, like, Tsareena's busted, Cinderace is strong, Zeraora, Talonflame. Like, there's very few special attackers, because the devs are doing a Riot thing, and they hate special attackers, too. None of this makes sense, and Slowbro still sucks.